Howdy folks, Rambler here, going to be doing a quick video review of the Emmrod Packer fishing pole. It is made by the company Emmrod. This is a short pole, as you can see. Length is 22.5 inches when it's assembled. If you want to break it down, it breaks down right here. There will then be 13 inches in length. The weight of my particular rod, not counting the reel, is 8.3 ounces. If you look on their website, it says the weight ranges between 8 and 9 ounces. Pretty sure that's because of the coils, depending on how many you choose. As I said, this is the Packer model, but you can choose anywhere between 4 to 8 coils. I believe your choices are 4, 6, 7, and 8. They affect the strength of the rod and the action of the rod. 4 is classified as heavy, 6 is medium heavy, 7 is medium, and 8 is I forget what, light medium or whatever the next one is down. I don't remember off the top of my head. They also affect the weight rating of the rod. 4 coils is, I believe, 25 pounds. 6 coils is like 20 pounds. 7 is 10 to 15. 8 is 5 to 10. The rod has one eyelet. The coils, this piece, which is where you twist to pull it apart, it has the locking rod seat, the groove that the other end of the reel sits in, the trigger hold or whatever you want to call it, and the 2 plastic insets in the handle. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Now the beauty of this is this thing at a lightweight and incredible strength. Oh, I forgot to mention what it's made out of. It's made out of stainless steel. It's a 302 stainless spring steel, so it's a steel that has a lot of flex. It's very strong, but it has a lot of bend and bounce and flex to it, so it makes a perfect rod. Okay, so the Emmrod is an awesome little creation, purely from its simplicity. It uses the springs here to get its power. So when you load the rod, when you're casting or pulling in a fish or whatnot, it's the springs that take that load and make the load. So you're able to get a lot of power in a really compact size due to that. Now you're able to actually cast this rod, believe it or not, about as far as you can cast a regular full size, 6, 8, 9, 10 foot rod. The reason being is, 1, you get a lot of power from the springs, but 2, if you notice, if you follow the line coming out of the reel and you ignore my dog, you have just one eyelet. That greatly reduces the amount of friction that is on the line. So when you cast, there's very little friction on your line and you can really zing it out there a good ways. I can easily cast 60, 70 feet with this. It's also very easy to cast into really tight places because it's so short. With the spring action, I can't really do this too well with one hand, but let's see. You can grab the tip and you can really bend it, and you can do a slingshot cast really easily. Really shoot it into a tight space. Let's see if I can get, I don't have a lot of weight on. I don't know if you can even catch that because I don't know if I can slow this down, but you can see how the springs work there when I'm doing some mock casts. Might have been at a weird angle because I was trying to film it too, but in any case, you can get the idea. So very simple, very strong. I mean, this thing is practically indestructible. It's made out of very tough steel. It's stainless. It's not going to rust on you. There's no really moving parts other than the real seat and where it can disassemble. I have never disassembled this rod. It's so short, it can easily strap to the side of any pack that I own. It doesn't even really stick out. I have no worries of this getting snagged or caught on something. It's not going to break. I mean, this thing is tough. And when I'm not backpacking, I keep it in my truck. You know, I toss it behind my seat. Sometimes I keep it in the bed of my truck for a couple of weeks. You know, just this is a beater pole for me. I mean, it really sees a lot of use, and it is no worse to wear. The most wear is on my reel. I mean, this thing is probably 15, 20 years old almost. But the Emmrod itself, I mean, there's hardly a scratch on the steel. It's really held up, and it's been around and heavily used. It's, you know, it's easy to clean, easy to wipe down. You know, I really like it. There's not really much else to say about it. It's great for backpacking. It's great for keeping in your truck for, you know, if you have a few minutes, you know, in your lunch break or something to hit up the lake or whatnot. It's great for a canoe, kayak. It's, you know, it's small. It's you know, it makes a great ice fishing rod. I use it for that sometimes. I'm not a big ice fisherman, but it definitely works for that. And I've caught up to like a 9-pound bass on this. Actually, I take it back. I caught one salmon here in Connecticut a couple years back. It was, how heavy was that guy? Like 14, 15 pounds. Not a huge salmon, but a pretty decent size. And this thing handled it just fine. And that's probably one of the biggest fish I'll ever catch. You know, I mainly fish for trout, panfish. This thing is well stout enough to handle any of those, you know, catfish, bass, trout, panfish. You're not going to break this rod by catching a fish. I think you'd have to take a, you know, plasma cutting torch to this thing to break it. It's really tough. All right, well, thanks for watching. If anybody has any questions or you want to see any other part of the rod that I somehow didn't show you well, just let me know. I can post up another short video. So I don't know if I showed you. This is where the rod breaks down. It just has a little locking twist mechanism. You just have to twist it, rotate it, and it'll come right apart.